Greetings from home, dear ones. I am the Keeper of Time. I am thrilled to join you this day in your experiment on planet Earth. The work that you're doing is absolutely magical. But as we've mentioned, there's larger aspects going on that we'd like to speak of this day. First of all, we're going to talk about the pendulum. We're going to talk about the same pendulum we've been talking about since the year 2000. The reality is, humanity swings back and forth until it finds a neutral space where it can work together. Well, this day, we're reaching an opportunity. It is not definite because it's really up to you. You are the conscious creators that create this world in front of you. In fact, we're going to give you a new title, and we'll explain that title a little bit later. But the title itself is the Magi of Love. You hold that deep within you. Take a breath, everyone. Smile. Feel your vagus nerve lighting up and sending out this beautiful vibration into the world around you, which helps you create your reality. Absolutely beautiful. Well done, too. Now, so many things are taking place. We've showed you many of the cosmic events that are happening behind the scenes where people don't necessarily see it. We've talked about the portals opening. We've talked about the timeline cross. Then we've talked about several of the stargates that are starting to open. All of these things taking place have been focused on the planet herself, for she is in stress and trying to reset her energies for the path forward. Well, so are you. And that is the reality of much of what you're dealing with right at this moment, is resetting that energy in a whole different way. So, take a breath. Let us join you here. Beautiful. Expect a miracle, and we will help you create it, for you set it into motion the moment you bring it into your reality. That is magical indeed. And we're going to work with you on that creation. But dear ones, I am here, for I am the Keeper of Time. And it is time to change a direction. Now, recently in the United States, you have seen some changes going on in your political structures. Oh, the game of politics that you're all playing. Well, we tell you, we're not talking about politics when we talk about a new direction. We're not talking about politics at all. For most of your politics in these areas are all built on division. Vote for us, not those guys, for those are the bad guys. Well, that's not going to work that much longer. The reality is all of planet Earth is heading in a very negative direction with the division, and you can turn it around very easily. At this point, each of you individually as well as a collective can shift the energy of planet Earth by recreating your own story, by creating something magical that you can bring forward and work in these beautiful ways. We tell you, it's beautiful beyond your understanding, and here you are working with it right now today. This is a critical junction for many reasons. First, not long ago, you had an indication of what was to come. The white buffalo has been born. The white bison was born and entered the earth. Now that is, according to the Native Americans, an indication of change, an indication of evolution of great magnitude. Yosemite National Park in the United States holds that white bison. It's a very sacred symbol for all of you, and all of you can gather hope from that sign from the other side of the veil. It's beautiful indeed. You'll see much of that taking place. Now, on top of that, you're being bombarded with this beautiful energy from the sun. We've spoken about this over many years, actually the last 2 solar cycles we have followed this work. We've told you about how the sun erupts and sends out this beautiful magnetic waves, which most often create the most beautiful sights that you will see behind me here. You'll see the aurora borealis in places where you've never seen it before, but we tell you this is much more than just a visual effect of planet Earth. This is the large piece that all of you are starting to understand. The magnetism is the magnetism of the heart. And when you have a solar flare, a coronal mass ejection, as you call it, it spews this beautiful energy out into the universe and hits planet Earth roughly anywhere from 72 hours to a few days later. You're being pelted with something right at this very moment. You see, recently there was an largest solar flare of this solar cycle. You have labeled it as an X-class 14, the largest by far so far this season. There's more to come. These are neutrinos that are coming into your planet, and we tell you we have a slightly different vision than most of your astrophysicists that see this, but we tell you the neutrinos you will understand at some point, but they bring a magnetic wave into the planet. And if you consider that your brain is electrical and your heart is magnetic, it can open your heart. That is magical. And furthermore, you have actually created this yourself. The beings that have planet here right now working with you in these ways are working with you to create this opportunity. They've been working with the planet herself in order to focus this energy, in order for her to heal, for her to reset her own cellular memories to her own signature vibration. Well done. Now, here you are at this fulcrum point, as the Keeper explained, moving back and forth wildly right at this moment. And you're starting to see changes. Look for unity. That is the only way for you to move to this next level, is through unity. Otherwise, you go in a very negative direction that you have already been moving. Can you see peace on your earth? Can you see love blanketing the planet in many ways? Do you see unconditional love in all these ways? We tell you that is entirely possible today, at this very moment, having to do with you. For you open your heart and open that energy in. Now, the sun is giving you that beautiful energy in order to even do that further. Now, you've seen some recent changes in the politics of planet Earth, particularly in the United States. And we tell you that we're not talking about politics. However, the politics changed as a result of these waves coming in. So that's part of what's taking place, but only a small part. You have so much more that you can create in this very moment, in creating a reality which will support you in so many beautiful ways. Take a breath, dear ones. Anchor this light all deep into your being, into your spirit. That's why you are here. And we honor every moment of your existence for that reason. Now, what is to be done at this point? Well, dear ones, there's many things you can do, but first, let's go back to something again that we have been saying for some time, but bears repeating. You live in the illusion of time, which is why I, as the Keeper of Time, are here this very day. The illusion of time is something you're starting to understand is actually an illusion. If you look at the results of the James Webb Telescope, you will find that exactly to be true. That your reality can create something very magical because of who you are in this moment now. So take that and move through it. Now, everything on your side of the veil having to do with time. You perceive it as a past, present, and future, as a linear time frame, and yet there's only one of those that exist. The now moment is the only one that is real. The future is a dream, is a potential, is an aim, something many of you put in your bodysuit and aim your story toward creating. And the past, of course, is just a memory. Now, you may think, oh, the past is absolutely certain. We know history is exactly right and never alters, but it does all the time, dear ones. You rewrite history every moment of every day, having to do with your collective story. The story has an opportunity to change from one of division to one of unity. And that's what we ask you to look for in every decision you make. What unity can come from this? Where do you go? Who can you meet? Who can you love? For that is the ultimate, having to do with this beautiful energy that you now have in front of you at this very moment. You are magicians of the game board. You are much more magical than you understand, and we have started calling you the Magi of love. Let us explain. As we mentioned, because of time and the illusion of time, which, by the way, your James Webb telescope has now decided that time is an illusion. We find that fascinating. Beautiful that your sciences and your metaphysics are starting to come together. Absolutely beautiful. There is truth in all of it. Now, because of the illusion of time, everything on your side of the veil must travel in waves. Very simple. The words that you're hearing right now are traveling through the air. Vibrations are being put into the air, putting it through his vocal cords, into his microphone, through electronics, and into your speakers, into your own ears, through air. So air is the medium of the sound that you are hearing. Now, what is the medium of the sights that you see? Well, that is light. So everything must travel in waves, but it must travel through a medium. And now, of course, is the most important part. What is the medium of love? If you are the Magi of love, creating magic at every moment, how does it travel? Well, there's only one place where it can travel, dear ones. The medium of love is people. How many people and how much can you love? Unconditionally. Yes, of course, you have your conditional love. The reality is even your marriage vows are a statement of conditional love. We have no problem with all of your stories, all of the ways that you do work. But we tell you, the larger aspect of love is always unconditional. And there is never division in that energy. So when you take this process and you work it through in a different way, you'll start to see the magic that is held within the deep crux of you. You are the Magi of love. Send that vibrational wave out into the universe through other people. Does it mean you must love everyone completely and unconditionally? You're human, of course not. You're going to have judgments. You're going to have preferences. You're going to have experiences, some good, some that you call bad, all of which take you toward an evolution, toward your next level of existence, which is now right in front of you. We can't wait to see what takes place. The groundwork has been laid for you. But you must take those steps. So find the ways that you can be the Magi of love. What happens? It's a fascinating process. Yesterday, the keeper went to the Las Vegas Strip. He lives in Las Vegas. So he went to the Las Vegas Strip where thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people are walking around, all looking for a miracle to happen, all looking for their lives to change in some way, mostly monetarily, and working in these beautiful ways. But we tell you something very interesting. Some of the most friendly people in the world here in Las Vegas. And there's a reason for that. Because that magic, that hope, that dream, that expression of hope, that expression of creating your own reality in some way, and creating miracles too, that exist in different ways. But it's the people that do it. So we will challenge you. We have given this challenge to the Light Masters many times. Now we give it to every single person. When you run across someone that you're going to make eye contact with, you have sometimes only a brief moment, sometimes a few words. Can you light them up in those few words? Can you somehow smile, ignite their own vagus nerve in their body to radiate that energy out into the planet of unconditional love? Can you touch them in some beautiful way? To when you walk away, they're a little brighter than when you were before them. That is our challenge to you, dear ones. You are the Magi of love. You've come to this planet specifically for this reason, and the timing is perfect for your work to evolve to the next level. You are magicians, far beyond your understanding, which is why we call you the Magi. And love is your medium. Now, the framework, the substrate in which that love must travel are people. It's the only way. Now, when you look at a person, you may have a judgment about them, the way they wear their hair, the clothes they are wearing, the way they're walking, the way they're acting, the sound of their voice. Go ahead and have your judgment. That's no problem. And then find a way to love them. Just for a moment. Then you have touched them with your light. Touch them with your light and continue your journey forward. For that will change the world very quickly. You are here this day. Your space has been reserved. The love is coming in magnetic form from the sun. It's traveling at 186,000 miles per second. 300,000 kilometers per second. 7 times around the planet in 1 second. How much love can you leave in your trail of light behind you? How many hearts can you touch, even for just a moment? That is unity. But you don't know which side of a political argument someone is on, and furthermore, you could care less. Just touch them. Let that unity come back together and understand that at home, you're all intricately connected, inseparable. It is only when you come to planet Earth that you put on this bodysuit and pretend to be separate. You're not. Go with the larger aspects of the universe. Know that you are loved from this side of the veil, far beyond your understanding. And yes, dear ones, you are the Magi of love. And with that, we leave you for the time. For your work is directly ahead of you. Let us light you up. Let us touch your heart for just this few moments that we are with you, so that you can turn around and give it to someone else as often as you can. It is with the greatest of honor that I greet you in this way. Ask you to treat each other with the highest of respect as the Magi of love. Nurture one another. Open those doors every opportunity and play well together in this new game. Well done, dear ones. I am the keeper of time, and I love you dearly. Aspawa.